Hey everyone, Scott here, just down by the Sydney Harbour. You can see the bridge in the background. Beautiful, beautiful morning. In this video, I want to show you what the housing crisis is, how it was created, and the impact on your life. Secondly, what the government's plan is to fix it and why this plan is going to fail. 3, how I would easily fix this crisis in just 12 months with 2 simple steps. Now, firstly, what is the housing crisis? Okay, the housing crisis in Australia is actually the failure of new home construction to keep pace with the massive levels of population growth that we've had in this country, primarily because of immigration just after the pandemic. Now, this has resulted in rents skyrocketing out of control. Now, in this chart, you can see just how much weekly rents have actually increased Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, all across the country. Now, this has caused real stress, anxiety, real pain and suffering for Aussies all over the country. Now, so you know, about 1/3 of Aussies actually own their home with no mortgage, typically older Aussies who are retired or near retiring. 1/3 of Aussies own their own home with an average mortgage of around 700 to 800K, obviously a lot higher in the capital cities. Now, the remaining 1/3 of Aussies rent. That's 1/3 of the population that have been exposed to skyrocketing rents. Now, property prices have also been impacted, which is great if you already own a home, especially great if you have no mortgage, but this is terrible if you're trying to get into the market for the first time. Check out this chart showing the capital city median house price 2019 versus 2024 and the percent that it has increased. This is insanity if you're trying to get into the market. Now, during this time, wages have only grown by about 2 to 3% per year. So Aussies are feeling the pinch of the rising cost of living because we've also got increases in things like food, fuel, insurance, and a lot more. So what is the government's plan to fix it, and why is this plan doomed to fail? Now, the government has actually proposed building 1.2 million homes over the next 5 years as part of its solution to the housing crisis. Now, why this sounds promising, the reality is that it's unlikely to succeed. The current pace of construction is way too slow, and the industry is actually grappling with rising building costs, labor shortages, and all of the bureaucratic red tape and taxes, fees that go to the government to actually get these projects underway. Now, on top of that, the government has green initiatives, and while these are actually well-intentioned, they actually add to the cost of building a new home by somewhere between 30 to 50K, and this is making building a new home even less affordable. Now, without addressing these underlying issues, the plan to build 1.2 million homes is destined to fall short. Now, here's a chart showing build completions for the last 20 years versus the red line of 240,000 target. As you can see, we have never achieved 240,000 a year ever. We do not have the buyers, we do not have the materials, and we do not have the skilled labor to get it done at an affordable price. Now, recently, the Labor Albanese government appointed a new housing minister. Claire O'Neill is the recent appointment as Australia's Minister for Housing. Now, this has raised some eyebrows, with critics arguing that her selection is more about managing public relations than actually solving the housing crisis. O'Neill, who previously served as Minister for Home Affairs, played a significant role in overseeing a massive surge in immigration, which some analysts claim has exacerbated the housing shortage by driving up demand and pushing rents to record highs. And the Labor government, Albanese himself, has actually said she's a great communicator. And it seems like they've hired her as a PR move more than an actual move to fix the crisis, because to date, there has been no other policies released or funding released to be able to help solve this problem of 1.2 million homes. Now, how would I fix this housing crisis in 2 simple steps in just 12 months? Well, the first one is to temporarily reduce immigration levels. We can alleviate some of the immediate pressure on housing demand just by reducing immigration temporarily and just being very strategic about who we actually invite into our wonderful country. Now, we need to do this in a targeted way because we do need more doctors, nurses, police, more aged care workers, many people we need to bring in the country to help us to have the quality of life that we do want. But we want to reduce it to allow construction to catch up so that we can actually get out of this housing crisis and make rents and make housing affordable for all Australians. Now, the second thing I would do is bring back the home builder. Now, not exactly the home builder, but something like it, okay? We need to look at it, we need to analyze it and figure out what we're gonna do. But if we were to reintroduce a scheme similar to the home building grant, which ran in 2020, this would have a huge impact. Now, the home builder scheme was introduced by the Australian government in 2020 as part of its economic response to the pandemic, and it was a significant financial commitment aimed at stimulating the construction industry and the build of new homes. The scheme offered grants of $25,000 to eligible homeowners to build a new home or substantially renovate an existing home. The total cost of the home builder scheme to the government was estimated at around $2.5 billion. This figure accounts for the grants provided to more than 100,000 eligible applicants who took advantage of the scheme during its operation. This initiative was highly effective in boosting residential construction during a challenging economic period, but it also placed considerable demand on the construction sector, and because of it, we got a lot more housing built. A similar program could quickly boost housing supply, especially if targeted towards affordable housing, helping to address the crisis within 1 year. Now, private developers require funding to bring new homes online. For example, to turn low-grade farmland into a housing estate, someone needs to front up the money for land surveys, designs, bringing in the bulldozers to level out the land, put in the sewers, the power grid, the roads. This is all extremely expensive and needs to be done before an end buyer comes along and puts a deposit on a block of land and then actually engages a home builder to build a home. So the government needs to kickstart this. The government could provide no interest loans to developers to bring this land online ASAP. This would also work for the construction of apartments. So that's how we would solve it. Now, it looks like that they won't do any of this. We're not hearing anything around this. There's a lot of conflict about putting money into the hands of private people to be able to build these homes because it's very unpopular with other political parties such as the Greens, who believe we should just go out there and find the money for 300,000 new homes and then just hand them out to who knows who. Guys, I'd love to hear your comments about what you think about my idea, or maybe you've got a better idea. So guys, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about my ideas. Let me know what ideas you may have. And don't forget, guys, please click like and subscribe for more content like this.